Hello everyone, this is Dimitar from the RedmineUP support. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to update your contacts plugin of RedmineUP from an older version 4.4.6 to a newer version and latest 4.4.7 on a Redmine 7 stable and Ubuntu 26.04. Okay, so currently this is the very latest Redmine version. This is 7.0 and it was released a couple of months ago. And yeah, currently we are in the middle of 2026. And as I said, this is going to happen on operating system Ubuntu 26.04. So it was released on April this year, and it is an LTC version, meaning that it is going to be long-term support. So it is going to be active a lot of years ahead. So in other words, this is a great operating system. Okay. So before we start, I would like to let you know that the steps for updating the contacts or CRM plugin, this is the same thing, are actually absolutely the same if you update older light version of the plugin to a newer light version, or if you upgrade light version to pro version, or if you update older pro to newer pro version. So these steps are absolutely the same for all these three scenarios. Okay, so now on our current case now, we are going to update older pro to newer pro version of the CRM, or in other words, contacts plugin of RedmineUp. So before we start, I would like to let you know how to check if you have the latest version and if there is a need to update the plugin actually. So the first way is to see the current version, that is 4.4.6 in our current case. And if you'd like to check, you have to go to administration of Redmine, then plugins, and there is a check for updates button here. So you click on it, and if there is an exclamation mark between the version and the configure button here, this means that there is a newer version. Or if there is a green sign, this means that you are up to date and you got the very latest version. But if for some reason this button is not working for you, there are two other ways for checking if there is a newer version. So the first one is to go to our site redmineup.com. So you need to go to help and support and then CRM or contacts. This is the same thing, CRM plugin and contacts. And scroll to the very bottom and click on all updates and see the very latest version is on the top. There is a date when it was released, so we see that we got this version and we need to update it to 4.4.7. That is the very latest version of Redmine for contacts plugin, the very latest version of contacts plugin. Okay, so this is the second way, and the third way of checking the version of contacts is to go to the Redmine.org official site. This is the Redmine community site, so this is the official site of Redmine, and we list our plugins there and also update them in accordance to the information about them. So we click here, and most importantly, you have to check the author here. It should be RedmineUp, and because there could be some other plugins that are CRM and contacts and so on. So you have to make sure this is RedmineUp, and this is our plugin. Okay. So you scroll down to the changelog. Yeah, we see there are some advertisements here. You just skip them. And you scroll down to the changelog and you see the very latest version was released here, and this is the number, this is the compatibility, and this is Redmine 7 here. Okay, so currently we have the previous version and we need to update it to the latest one, that is 4.4.7. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do now is to just download the very latest version. So I have already did this in the downloads folder of my operating system of Ubuntu. So here it is, Redmine CRM 4.4.7. And as we said, CRM and contacts is the same thing. And now we need to open the terminal of Linux. And before we do anything, we need to delete the previous version of the contacts plugin. So the version that we already have installed in our Redmine, we need to delete it first and then proceed further with the installation of the new version. So for this purpose, you have to go to the directory of your Redmine, which in my case is this one. But please keep in mind that in your case, your Redmine could be installed somewhere else, not in this path, but in another path, other directory. So please double check this before you do anything, because yeah, you need to navigate to this folder. Okay, so we list now the plugins, and we see that this is the currently installed 4.4.6 version of Redmine. And you could also check this in the operating system file system of Ubuntu Linux. So we copy the path, go here and paste it. And yeah, we see we are into Redmine now, plugins folder, and this is the current older version 4.4.6 of contacts plugin. Okay, so we need to remove this with the command sudo remove and the name of the plugin. So this argument here means that it is going to delete recursively every inner folder into the main folder. Okay, so if you have, for example, this, and inside you got 100 folders, it is going to recursively delete everything. Okay, so this is the argument about. All right, so we enter our password for sudo, and if we check now, we see that we have successfully deleted the contacts folder. So if we go to the file system, we see that there is no contacts anymore. So we have done our job successfully. Okay, good. So now, as we said, we have already downloaded the new version 4.4.7 in our downloads folder, and now we need to go to this directory, the downloads directory, and list the file and see it here. This is the zip file of the new version that we have already checked in the file system. So we need to copy it into the plugins folder of Redmine, and it is going to happen easily via the command sudo file name, sudo copy and then the file name. Okay, and then put the path of our Redmine plugins folder. Good. So if I go now to the directory of Redmine and plugins, and list the plugins, then I'm going to see the zip file that we have just copied. Okay, and if I go to the file system of Linux Ubuntu, I'm just going back here and see that, yeah, it is successfully copied here into the plugins folder of Redmine. Good. So the step that we need to do now is to unzip this file. So it is going to be with the command sudo unzip and the name of the zip file. So if we see this RAWs, it means that the zip process is being successfully executed. And if we list the files, we see that here is the contacts folder successfully unzipped from this file. And if we check in the file system, sorry about that. If we check here, we see the contacts is appearing here. Okay. So we no longer need the zip file, so we just delete it. It is going to happen with the command sudo remove and the zip file. If we list, we see that there is no more zip file. Okay, so the next command that we need to execute and also the next two commands, it is very important that they should be executed in the Redmine core folder. So we move one step back, and please keep in mind that this is a very common mistake when users are installing plugins. So this command and the next command needs to be executed here. So the first one is about installing the needed gems. Sudo bundle install. So we see 151 gems now installed. And the next one is the migration. So migrating the database. It is going to happen with the command sudo bundle exec rake Redmine plugins, and name that is Redmine contacts. So these Redmine contacts is actually the name of the folder itself. And yeah, by the way, I recommend you to copy paste the commands from our article, but of course, if you wish, you can type them letter by letter as I'm doing it now. Okay, so the last parameter is Rails and production. So the environment of Redmine is pointing to be a production one. Okay, so we click enter, and as there are no error messages, this means that this command is successfully executed. Okay, and the very last thing that we need to do is to just restart our Redmine. So it depends on your configuration. For example, you can do the touch temporary restart point.txt command, or if you're running virtual machine of Redmine, you can switch off, then switch on the virtual machine. But in my case specifically, I'm running Redmine into the terminal of Linux. So this is it. And I just close the terminal and my Redmine is down. So I need to switch it on again. And this is my way of restarting. So I go to the browser again and refresh. I see that my Redmine is down. Okay. And I need to open the terminal again. Just navigate to the path of Redmine and start it. Of course, put my sudo password and wait a little bit for start. Okay, it is now started. And when I go back to the browser and refresh it again, I see that I have the latest 447 version of CRM plugin successfully installed on our Redmine 700 stable. Okay, here it is. So we have successfully updated our contacts plugin to the latest version. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the video, and if you have some questions or problems, or just want to say hi to our team, then please drop a message to support@redmineup.com. We are going to help you as always. So thanks again for the patience of watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.